Everyone, it's time for everybody's favorite quest in the Orchard, Fleshmaker's Laboratory. No, not really. This is not everyone's favorite quest, but I like it. And for a change, I don't have to do it solo, which is nice. I have Shoemaker with us today, and Shoemaker's hireling. So we'll see how we do when we are not the one working the extra hireling. In the event that it gets weird or difficult or whatever, we can go ahead and whip out the Gold Seal hireling and help out. But we'll let Shu take the glory of having extra hirelings, extra buttons to push. Fleshmakers is one of the quests that it's very nice to have a helping hand. You can do it with 2 Gold Seal hirelings easily enough, because one person can get 3 levers, and then you can command the 2 Gold Seal hirelings to pull the other 2 levers. But
the smell of rot
humans are nice.
A key glistens beyond the gate.
Right, the first big tip and trick for this quest is to dive down, swim under the water. That'll keep you from taking the poison jet damage. Also gives you an opportunity to pick up your 2 sweet collectibles and then just swim back out. Don't try to run through the traps. Don't look for trap boxes. Don't bother. They're just how it is. Alright, you can go up this hallway, kill a bunch of guys. You'll get, I think, a collectible and the key for free. Or you can just unlock it with your open lock skill. We'll go ahead and pick it up. Just to kind of show people. There's a key or a locked door a little bit later on that we're gonna want to either pick or unlock. Oh, there's 2 collectibles. Two collectibles and a key. We're also going to talk about excuse me. Man, that was a big one. We're going to talk about this doorway a little bit later on. But when I reference the doorway, I want you to think about that doorway right there. Fall down this hole. We're going to go ahead and clean up this various trash up here on these ledges. And the reason why is so we don't have to do weird jumping around to clean up these trap boxes. The first one has 1 on each side. Realize that mid-jump. And then the second one has 1 box. Used to my auto detect getting slightly older quest pretty consistently. Weird missing that 1 trap box. Alright, remember how I was talking about that doorway? Right? That other side, that other door. That's this doorway right here. So if someone gets pet beyond you, or say you're coming in late to the quest, they can give you a shortcut to basically get you here. Or if you don't have a trapper, for whatever reason, and somebody can make it through, then the rest of the party doesn't have to go through traps.
Yes, it's very nice when you have a monk that can evade but nobody to do traps.
Right, that is actually a reasonably high DC door to pick. But if someone goes and picks up the key, it's not a big deal. And it's not
The assembly area.
it's not like insane. It's not like 1,000. It's like 64 or something like that. I don't have the exact number. I'm sure the wiki has it, but I'm not the wiki.
The last apprentice falls, crippling the laboratory.
I keep talking about how good ranged is every once in a while. Partially to kind of not really justify, but
Surgical,
kind of
woodworking, and metallurgy
point out exactly how good
makeshift operating.
the ranged mechanics are right now, and how they're I don't know if they're too good, but they definitely feel very, very good. I mean, look at me. I've got 14 levels of wizard. I could be finger-deathing all this stuff and disintegrating, but instead I'm just using my crossbow because it's faster. And to me, as a person who plays a wizard all the time, that's pretty
A large
harsh.
green crystal hangs above a special operating table. The ground is scorched and seared. The flesh golem crumples to the floor. No longer in control
So
of its creation.
especially in a room like that last room that would have taken at least a minute, maybe two, and instead just hitting the no holes barred and just mowing down that room in like 40 seconds is a big deal. Shows the real power of the ranged right now. All right, tip number 2. I'm gonna kind of demonstrate how I go through the lighting room.
Lightning
Basically, I pick
constantly
whichever
discharges
direction,
throughout these
left or right, it doesn't really matter. I'll go through, I'll grab these guys' attention, I'll come back to this loop for a second. Not enough of them got sticky, I guess. Kind of pull them back here just a little bit. Pull the lever, jump in, pull the lever again. There's a champ in here that keeps hitting me. There we go. And then I walk back out. I go back to the front. I realize that fighting inside all of this electricity is not a good plan. And I come back to this area. And I clean up.
above the room of light.
Lets me drop whatever my AoE is if I need it. It gives you a... It's quick, generally, as long as you have a reasonable way to, like, give them a little bit of crowd control or whatever. And then, in the next one, whichever one that I do next, what I'll do is I will pull the stuff back, open the levers just like before, but the main difference... Man, champ every time, just whacking us here. The main difference is that I try my hardest to get the rest of the way through the zone. I'm just taking a lot of damage here for whatever reason. We may have to just mow these things down. So now that I have the door open, I will run through and clean up on the opposite side. Similar reasons as before, it's just I don't have to deal with it. Alright. Speaking of not dealing with it, I also tend to just kill these air elementals up here. You'll get a good... you get a good, maybe minute, almost, to, start pulling things. 1, 2, 3, go, Shu.
As the lightning machine shuts down.
And if you are quick, you can't. Oh, I thought I was gonna get knocked all the way down. You can get those lever at least in position. In this case, we did manage to get them pulled as well, like right as the guys were respawning. Carnage to Reaper over here.
Is safe.
But you can clean that up pretty quickly. I don't need any of these, so I'll hand them to Shu. And then off to do the optional. Each of these quests have some sort of optional that are tied to it. Specifically, they used to drop, if you wanted like the Shield of Legend, that's how you had to get them. That's not been the case for a really long time. You can get all these bits now through any of the quests in the zone. But it's still nice to know how to go back and do these optionals just for completion's sake.
This particular one is a really good flesh golem farming location.
Yeah. Alright. Again, you can get shrined up and whatnot. I'm just gonna go get started. Whoop, whoop.
A large crystal stands in the center.
There's
of
a couple of
room.
traps.
A darkened room fastened to its west side.
And we'll get that started. I will talk about the build. I'll be happy to talk about the build in detail when the video's over here in just a minute, if you'd like. I'll record a full video at the end. We're gonna do the build. We're gonna do the build right away again, basically for the second half of the video recordings. We'll go into details on this one in just a minute, Legion. A couple of minutes here. Alright, am I missing the trap still? I think I am still missing. There's one on each pillar, I believe. And these traps shoot off little lightning traps, so it's nice to not to worry about it. Again, your ice storm. Again, your whatever. Cone of Cold will slow down flesh golems. Slows down their attack speed, their movement speed, etc. Why is my ice storm not going off? Clearly ball lightning to the ouchie. Looks like Shu has found an interesting place to stand. Would you like a res, or are you gonna just hang out up there? Sounds no rush. Try to get you between waves here. arms here, so our cold damage will probably have decreased slightly. Let's get our other rune arm back up. You may be wondering what exactly is going on with the rune arm damage here, and that I feel is a good question. Last level, I started kind of going through my rune arms and my setup and whatnot, and before level 15, I was doing primarily fire based. I was trying to go basically fire. That was the strongest option at the time. Well, it turns out that's incorrect. The 14, you can switch to the quarantine. So the quarantine plus the corresponding belt from Ravenloft together gives you a slightly higher cold spell power than if you were to do the equivalent of the same two items. Okay, well, it's close. The difference is that Ice Storm lasts a little longer. Ooh. Then Shu has a lovely little warning. Be sure to click the chest and not the portal. I feel like that's moved back far enough now that it's not so much an issue. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe you can, maybe right here it's still a problem. But yeah, if you take this portal, you exit the quest.
Scorch marks.
And can't come back in on Reaper. You used to be able to come back in on normal or elite, but not on Reaper. Alright, well that's Fleshmaker's Laboratory. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, please like, subscribe, and follow. And if you have the capabilities and would like to donate monetarily to the stream, Patreon.com/Samius is one of the best ways to do so for the least amount of dollars a month. $1 to you is basically $1 to me. So if you can, I'd really appreciate it. And otherwise, we'll see you soon. Toodles.